Welcome to the Wigan Cult Film Club podcast.
To the Wigan Cult Film Club podcast for another episode 3. I am one of your hosts, Tony, and this is my co-host, Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Tony. I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave. Are you doing well?
Yes, I've watched today, and I'm feeling the benefits.
Nice.
Top stuff.
It's always good to feel the benefits.
It is, yeah.
Have you been up to much interesting this week?
Killed a fella.
Nice.
Bought too much milk.
Good.
I've just, can't say what it is, but I've picked up my first licensed movie poster art job.
Oh, nice.
And,
very nice.
It will be revealed when I've actually done it and I'm allowed to say something, but I'm extremely pleased. It's with some lovely people called the Moore Art Gallery.
Nice.
And they put out some top stuff. Speaking of which, they will be at an event that me and you firing off to this weekend.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. It's called Vice Press Open House, and the company Vice Press put out alternative movie posters, and there's a big collector sort of like culture around it. There's a lot of good like places putting this type of stuff out, but they've started doing their own convention. They started it last year.
Yeah,
it was mega. It's just like loads of artists in a room. So like when you're an artist and you're working from home, you don't see humans from one year to the next. So you get in a room full of all of them, and you're like, "Do you work at 600 DPI as well?" And you get all that excited about human interaction with people who do what you do. You know, it's that rare that you're actually meeting one other artist. But when there's 10 million of them in a room, but this year they've changed venue. There's a few other things going on as well, isn't there? Me and you and go on.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, you mentioned it to me, the one that you went to last year, and it sounded really interesting. And then, like, just for weeks and weeks and weeks, it just kept cropping up on my Facebook feed. Like, and I hadn't really searched for it or looked for it or anything. It just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And then you mentioned about coming, so I said, yeah, man, that sounds brilliant. We'll jump on that. And then the more I've interacted with them on social media, the more I seem to be getting off them now. And the more information that's come through. And like you just said, for you meeting fellow artists that you know, it's somewhere physical, that must be cool. But for me, getting to see all this kind of work is fantastic. But also, as well as Arrow Video are going to be there, and they're going to be carrying some limited edition Blu-ray stuff there as well. So I'm going to have deep pockets. I might pawn a kidney tomorrow so I can get some money in for that. But Arrow Video will be in there as well as the Vice Press stuff. It's brilliant, you know what I mean? So
well, I mean, a lot of these guys work together, so there'll be loads of artists there who've done work for Arrow, and multiple other people as well. What I like is they're bringing in the stuff that they've got their own artist proofs of, so they've got their own things that have already sold out elsewhere, and you can go and find them from these guys at a convention like this. But they're all posting like, "Oh, I found this one behind the cupboard. I found this under the shed." And they're bringing stuff, some of the more obscure stuff, which is kind of fun too. I mean, it's great that, you know, everybody's done a poster for like whatever the big popular film is now.
Yeah.
But I like seeing, well, what's the thing that floats your boat? You know, what's the thing that gets you fired up? Has anyone done Cannonball Run 2? I'm not sure. I'll be finding out at the weekend. But it's just a good celebration of film and being able to bang on about it all day. And of course, at the end of the night, biggity bam, they're showing RoboCop.
They are showing RoboCop.
We are. I've seen that on the big screen since the thing came out. Yeah.
I have never seen the first one on big screen.
Actually, you're right. I've never seen it on the big screen. Christ, because we watched it at Phil's house from the video shop.
Yeah,
I've never seen it on the big screen.
No, it was a video shop for me as well at a friend's. I think it was his 9th birthday party. His parents got us RoboCop. Yeah, what's better to celebrate a 9th birthday than watching a police officer have his arm shot off.
Have you finished your Blamons? Cannibal Holocaust next. what a fine choice. But then again, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but RoboCop coming out, all it needed was that poster, and we were all like, yes. But something cop. I mean, they're still doing it years later, Time Cop and everything else cop. But just RoboCop, that spoke to kids without knowing that it was one of the most violent films you're ever going to see.
You're ever going to see. And the beauty of seeing it over the weekend. I mean, the screen that's actually showing it is in the building where the actual sort of con's going to be, isn't it? The convention's going to be. And I think it was a 300-seater auditorium, I think.
Something like that,
yeah. And the first screening that we're in sold out like really quick, so they put a second screening on. So we're going to see RoboCop in 4K, the complete uncut version with 350 other nerds. You know what I mean? So that's
banger.
It's going to be brilliant. And not only that, you also get a limited edition piece of artwork. What's the gentleman's name?
Matt Ferguson from Vice Press.
There we go. And he's done a piece, an alternative poster for RoboCop, and if you bought a ticket to the screening, you got one of the posters for free. So, boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm thinking of putting on a little tight leather jacket, and carrying a massive rifle, and going, I like it. Because I might look a little bit like a taller version of that fella who gets his arm chopped off in ER, but he also gets melted. Also gets melted in RoboCop. Yeah. One of the best cinema deaths of all time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that haunted me as a kid. After we watched that, I mean, I'd already had to see a police officer get his arm shot off, and then you go through the whole of the film going, this is brilliant. Then you get to that bit and you go, holy shit, what's that?
I think the most haunting for me in that was him getting blown to bits at the beginning, because there was I wouldn't say it's a level of violence, it's just how he handles blood and squibs. He doesn't skimp at all. Like, it's thick, gloopy, like dark blood.
It is.
All we'd seen up until like that point, and maybe a few films around that time, was like Hollywood red blood. It looked like
over the top red.
Yeah, like red water paint or something like that, you know. And this guy's doing stuff that looked like jelly, you know. And when he shot that hand off, I was like, oh, jeez, like, made me feel sick for weeks. That still upsets me. Necker have brought a figure out of him going, blah, getting his hand shot off, and I'm thinking, there's one to wear on your head to go to church with. Yeah.
You can always rely on Necker to do something like
that. Yeah. So that's our weekend. That's our weekend coming up, isn't it?
It is, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's
we've booked the train. We're going to have little rucksacks. We're going to go and meet our mate Andy Furhurst, an insanely good artist as well. And we're going to just roam around and talk to people who draw and narrow video and see what we can find, little collectibles and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, which is cool, and all this is based in the heart of Sheffield as well, which is
it is,
a fine place in itself.
It is a nice place. I believe there's like an event horizon around Sheffield, because there's no way it should take that long to get there. You know, when you drive and you go over that mountain, and you're like, where's this town? Flipping heck.
Yeah, it's if you go up over sort of like Leeds way, up over the tops, over the moors, my God, that's depressing. Over there, it's soul destroying.
Yeah, I was. There was a very similar looking place that we were driving through once in Oregon, where my auntie was driving me. Like, I was about 16. I'm drifting off in the car like that, and I looked out to the side, and I remembered that bit in what do you call it, Twilight Zone, the movie, where John Lithgow looks out the window, terror at 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
And I did that thing to myself where I went, oh, what if someone was chasing me now? And my head started saying it, and I thought, what if a werewolf was running alongside a car now? Right. And I went, in the car. And he's like, what's up with you? Nothing. Use too much imagination. But I think about it all the time. I go over them moors. I keep thinking, stick to the path.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't come off that path.
Yeah. It could have come from me. Every so often, like a film came along when you were young, and I was like, I want to watch it, really, really want to watch it, but I'm scared of it, and I've got to get past that scared, so I've got to put myself through it in some way. And you don't get it much now, but you'd put it on, and I'd sort of like sit outside the room, like coming in like that every so often, even though there's nobody else to check that I'm doing that. And I did it with Alien, and I did it with American Werewolf as well. I was watching it on a little black and white set in Mum and Dad's like dining room, and they were on the moors, and I'm going, don't go on the moors. Oh, Jesus, come on, I'll go on the moors. I'll get some milk, and I kept going, getting some milk, coming back. But once you've gone through that, I'm trying to explain to my son at the minute, who's 7, like why it's fun watching scary films. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get that. He doesn't get that when you've finished, you've won.
Yeah,
you've beat it.
Yeah, you've defeated it. You've got through it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of films as I was younger that did that to me, but the one that stands out the most, and the film's not even that good, was Michael Caine in The Hand. Mate, it must have took me 4 attempts to watch that film. I get to a certain point and go, fuck this, just stop it, and leave it for days, and then go back to it. And I wouldn't have been that young, you know what I mean? I'd have been like 11 or 12 maybe. And I've been back and watched it recently. And it's like, what the hell bothered me so much about it? It's like, there's nothing horrific in it. It's just like one guy's descent into madness. It's weird.
Yeah, sometimes it's like the idea behind it scares you more than the thing itself. It's like Christine, I think, is like a perfect Carpenter film.
Great example.
Did you ever watch The Car? You know.
Yeah.
You see that one? Yeah. Yeah, because like. I hadn't watched it, and Mike had videoed it or something, and he said, "Oh yeah, I watched The Car last night." I said, "What's that?" He said, "It's like Christine." I went, "Ooh, is it like Christine?" And he said, "This car, right? I think it's the devil, right?" And he's making this biz up, right? But it was like a kid's review of a film has made me want to see something again, like when Lee Clark down the road said, "You don't see it, the alien, all the way through it, then right at the end you see it," and I'm like, "Whoa, that's enough for me to want to watch it." And I'm like, said The Car, at the end of The Car, a big hand comes down, the devil's hand, and picks the car up and takes it back to hell. And I went, whoa! And so like I made myself sit through it, and I was crapping myself watching it all these times. And it's just a car hitting cyclists and like beeping at people and stuff. And you're like, what? They even had it roaring. Like,
they did have it, yeah.
Not a patch on Carpenter on Christine, and then at the end, it was like just a load of fire. I'm like, what's this? There's supposed to be a hand in that. I mean, I've watched it, I've had it on YouTube and screen grabbed it and everything's in it. Still don't see no devil. Still don't see him.
Yeah, it's a bizarre film. It's like late 70s that.
Yeah,
I think it's like
definitely it feels dated, whereas Christine doesn't feel dated.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, well, I suppose, Christine's of its time. It fits alongside other Carpenter things, which I suppose to some people are dated, but for us, they catch a particular time. Instead of feeling dated, they've actually encapsulated the date, and they've made the date memorable because of the film itself. And I think Christine does that really well. But I mean, there's
a theme for a night: killer cars.
Killer cars. Good time. Yeah, Jewel. Put Jewel on.
Jewel, the Wraith.
Yeah. Yes.
The Wraith's a personal favourite of mine. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Flipping heck.
But there's loads of killer car films. So there.
Cars at Paris.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you heard it here first, club members. Killer Cars will be coming soon.
Killer Cars. Next month, religious motorbikes, or whatever the hell we can make up next.
Well, right, have you never seen So I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle?
Yeah, I saw some of it and I never got through it.
With Neil Morrissey.
With Neil Morrissey. Do you know what I saw a trailer for the other day with Neil Morrissey and Danny Dyer? Run for your wife. Oh my God! Remember when The Good Life used to finish? And Richard Bryars would be running up and down the stairs going, "Oh God, the priest's coming," or something like that. And it'd go, "Richard Bryars is currently appearing in Run for Your Wife at the Bladekin Theatre," or something like that. And I saw a trailer for a film starring Danny Dyer and Denise Van Outen, Someone Out of Girls Aloud. And it's for Run for Your Wife. And I thought, why am I seeing this now? It just popped up in my feed, thinking, why have I even thought that? And I had a look at the review, and it's one of the worst reviewed films ever made. So that's going on the list. Run for Your Wife with Neil Morrissey and Danny Dyer. Oh, man.
You couldn't think of a worse fucking two actors to put together.
Yeah, and it's like Danny Dyer is married to two different women, right? And they might find out about each other. So he said to his mate, "Oh, you got to help me, mate. You know, I love them both." I'm thinking, what kind of hero is this to get behind? No, I don't think so. A bigamist. No.
Because at some point, you know he's going to have gone, "All right, Treacle." You know what I mean? It's like,
Treacle.
"All right, Treacle."
Now, if it was Mike Reed, I'd watch that, but I'm not sure about Danny Dyer. Yeah, although your Janine would watch it, wouldn't she?
Oh, she loves him. Loves him.
She loves the
like we've got an entire collection of him down here. You know what I mean? And apart from Football Factory, which is like the only film that he was actually made for. He was made to be in that film. The rest of the stuff he did was shit. Did you not see the little review I gave of Doghouse the other day?
No, I've not seen that yet.
I give a small review of Doghouse, and it was the combination of three actors: Neil Graham, Noel, what's his face, Doctor Who fame, and that, and Noel Clarke, and one Cockney Bell End.
Right, I'll borrow that then.
Yeah, so that's Doghouse, everybody.
Doghouse, Christ, twice. Yeah. So we made a list, didn't we? Ages back, we said we're going to make a list for some ideas to talk about on this stuff, so you don't get too bored, and we're going to try our best to stick to a time limit this time.
Yeah.
And so. Well, one of the things we had on a list, which came up a bit the last week or so, was cinema experiences, and it came up because one of our members, Lindsay, one of her posts reappeared, and it was from a carpet shop in a little rinky-dink corner of Wigan that used to be a cinema called Unit 4. And I mean, there's plenty other cinema-based tales we can tell of other like pictures from around here, but Unit 4 in particular we were going to talk about tonight, because Lindsay's post was like she went in to get a carpet and the guy still got stuff from the cinema upstairs.
Stuff still there.
You can go in the projection room and all that kind of stuff, and he's got a few seats, you know, and some and stuff. Yeah,
so he's got some posters in the back and that, and
I found a clip as well. I posted it in the group of like a very similar looking active cinema somewhere, I can't remember where, in England somewhere, and it just reminded me of that little foyer when you go in. They'd have like a lace doily on a little table with a few what do you call them, lobby cards, and lobby cards being just like a photo of like somebody stood next to the boat in Jaws, and it just says Jaws underneath with a bit of detail, and then they will have written on it like coming on in June or something like that. And you can take these little lobby cards, and I don't know why I didn't get more of them when I was a kid. I don't know why my mum and dad said, "No, just leave them," because I think they were thinking of me carrying them home. But think about them now, and there's a few of them. In fact, Vice Press, Matt Ferguson from Vice Press has done a few lobby cards for Transformers the movie, the animated one, and they're absolutely banging. Perfect little size for a little poster thing, you know.
Yeah, they're a cool thing, you know what I mean? Instead of like trying to store massive posters or whatever, you know what I mean? Lobby cards are really, really good. It's not a thing we seem to do anymore, you know what I mean? It's died out form, really.
Well, one of the, talking of cinema experiences, my wife's from Tokyo, and the times that we've been back, my mother-in-law doesn't speak much English, but her English is better than my Japanese. And we try to have like common ground in the conversations, and it's usually sort of like David-chan, and I'll go hi, and she'll go Transformers 2, and I'll go nice one. So you watch rubbish as well. right? And she's a big fan of like Wild Speed, or as we know it, The Fast and the Furious, right? It's called Wild Speed over there. How better is that? But there's that common language of she loves the rubbish films, and I always wanted to go to the cinema with her and just watch some rubbish, and we watched Venom. So I'd laugh my head off all the way through it because she's just sitting there having a great time watching like crap for me. But one of the cinema experience things in Japan that I wish we had here, they have. But I should have brought some around. I don't know, I might have any here, but I collect these Japanese movie pamphlets. And they're about A4, and they've been doing them since the bloody 50s, I think.
Yeah, they've been around a while.
So, yeah, every film that comes out, like if you get a modern one now, it'll cost you about 10 quid. You go and see your film, you buy this thing for Venom or whatever the hell it is you're watching, and it's packed. It's like the Star Wars ones have got like loads of concept art in them, loads of interviews with people. It's all in Japanese, but it doesn't matter. It looks incredible, and you get all this stuff in this thing. So you get a memento of going watching your film, and it's not just like a Dune cup that looks like a sandworm's butt. It's a beautiful, lovely thing. And what's nice is because they're a respected part of the experience, you can go into the old bookshops and find all these ones from 50 years ago. I've got ones for like bloody the Black Hole and Tron and The Thing and stuff like that, and they've been going for ages. So you get them, and I've got ones from the original Star Wars trilogy when they first come out.
Okay.
But we're missing out here in this country.
Yeah, massively.
I'm just picking up a thing. It's even, I'm talking too much here, but it's even like the thing with if you were into your Marvel movies and you were going watching it, why isn't anyone putting a bloody Captain America comic on the table so you could get that on the way in?
Yeah.
The whole industry is missing out, you know.
Yeah, we sort of missed a trick on a lot of things here. I mean, I know in Japan as well as during the 70s and 80s, early 90s, when bands were touring in Japan, they also put information books out, tour books out, that went with the particular night that you was watching. So if you'd gone and watched Guns N' Roses in '89 and '91 in Japan, there was a tour guide book that went with it. Which I think is just genius. It's fantastic, and they were doing it for even like minor bands that no one had even heard of properly. But it was just a done thing. But over here, unless you went to the theatre and bought a program for a theatre, it just wasn't a done thing. Though the thing I did like in cinemas, and I think it would have been nationwide, and obviously there was video shops as well, but with the trade papers when you went into a cinema. So I can't think what the one was it called What's On? The one that we used to get round here?
Yeah, there might have been one. Yeah, What's On? Oh, yes, that I know what you mean, yeah.
And it was just a basic trade paper, so within that trade paper it would tell you the current listings of films that was out at that particular month. Then it would tell you stuff that was due for coming out, and it'd give you a little bit of a synopsis on it. But then there'd be like local advertisements in there as well.
I was going to say, are they the ones where it's like a full page advert for come and get a curry in Penn or something like that? Yeah. Or Roy's Butchers has got a special on pork sausages. You know what I mean?
But
I always found they tied in with if you went to Unit 4, it being like a smaller like local cinema. I found it mad that they stood on ceremony. Like the old woman who would be behind the desk, you'd go in and she'd say, "Good evening. What would you like a ticket for?" And you say, "Can I get a ticket for Universal Soldier Love? All the best."
Yeah.
Right. And so she'll give you your ticket, and it'll come out of the little machine, ka-chink, like that.
Yeah.
And she'd be stood in front of a load of sweets, like Spangles or whatever. And you'd get your sweets, and then you'd go in, and then she'd turn up at half-time, halfway through the film, and bring out the Kiora and offer you an ice cream before it melted.
Yeah.
And then you'd see her on the way out, and she was just going between the lobby and the cinema and just maintaining the place. But what were you just saying then about the Butchers, right? So you go in, and before we used to get a short film before films in the olden days.
Yeah.
So you'd get a thing like I went watching Mission Galactica: The Cylon Attack and stayed in to watch it again, and I had to watch Roller Boogie twice, which was basically like a Pan's People, just like shots of people's feet going around. But before them films, you'd get just slides of like local butchers or like get yourself a curry or something like that, and you'd be sitting there going, can't wait for this. And then you get ba 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 ba, and it'd all kick off. And you think, yes, roll a boogie. Here we go. But yeah, them little ads were right through everything, weren't they? Just
they were.
Pay for outside, but
yeah, they were for everything. And I mean, just to get into sort of some kind of perspective, the kind of cinema that we're talking about here, we're not talking about a massive multiplex. We're not talking about a huge chain cinema that you would have got in the 80s, and there was plenty of them in the UK. We're talking one small, independent, three screen Unit 4?
Yeah, 3 screens, yeah.
Three screen. One of them was about the size of a 42-inch telly.
Yeah, and I watched the doors out of focus on that screen. Honestly, it's so small. I mean, you could chuck a bag of flour over it, the cinema. It was tiny, you know.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was a nice experience because they fostered that whole nice red dark curtains on the wall. You know, it was cool in there, like cool. It wasn't too hot. They'd come in and give you the stuff at half time and everything, and everyone observed the silence of watching the film. I think one of my favourite experiences there was is it Gremlins 2 where the camera fails?
Yeah, where they break the fourth wall.
In it, where the film goes, the film starts going. Everyone in the cinema's like, "Oh, come on!" And then they all started coming on in shadows, laughing like that.
Yeah.
Man, it was ace. The cinema was just in tears. They were all just laughing their heads off.
Yeah, I mean, for me with Unit 4, it was the only that. See, my family weren't film fanatics. They were into film. Yeah. It's very rare they went to the cinema. My mum and dad just weren't into it at all. So if we ever went to the cinema to watch a new big release, we always went with my granddad. My granddad always took, because my granddad was always go to the Ritz, because that's the cinema he knew. That's the theatre and cinema he grew up with. But if my parents were taking us, especially my dad, he would only go to Unit 4. He wouldn't go anywhere else. Right. It was Unit 4. Now, I don't know if because it was cheaper than anywhere else, right? Or he knew if he went, there'd be nobody else in there, so it would be easy. You know what I mean? That's why we was going.
Yeah, and it's like dead comfy. It's like sitting at your nan's.
Yeah. So the amount of times that my dad took us there, I think just so he could get an hour and a half with a kip, because we'd sit down to watch the film and my dad would just go to sleep straight away. Like, Pearl and Dean are not even kicked in. You know what I mean? Yeah. The dancing Kiora, or No Smoking in the Auditorium, or Come and Get a Lion's Hot Dog song hadn't even finished. And my dad was knocking his heads out to the worst one ever. And I think for Unit 4, for me, this is the one that stands out the most, because I was at that age where I was wanting, actually, for me, wanting to go to watch something instead of just being taken to something, but me wanting to go to this film and me desperately wanting to see it. It was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, right? And the whole hype train that was around Bogus Journey, the whole Kiss single that got released before it, God Gave Rock and Roll to You and all that. I bought all that. I bought into it because I loved the first one. Excellent Adventure. I couldn't get enough. Bogus Journey. The trailer was brilliant. Everything. We went, and I was mesmerised by it. And I was about 20 minutes in, and I just sort of glanced across at my dad like that, and he was in like a fetal position in the chair, just giving it the loudest sense you have ever heard. And I was like, it was like Kiss are playing dead loud. You know what I mean? How can you be sleeping amongst all this? But he did. You know what I mean? I mean, hats off to my dad. He took us some great films in there, but I don't think he ever saw one of them. Not a one.
Well, I mean that would be deemed unusual behaviour back then, to go to see a film, pay all that money, and not watch it. Whereas now people go and just text the best mate all the way through it. You know, pictures, can't talk about pictures, mate. You know,
just lights flashing off phones everywhere.
But one thing I missed about Unit 4 was half the time on screen 3 they'd have the least interesting film of the 3 films that were out that week, but the other half of the time on screen 3 they'd put an X on, right? They'd put a mucky film on, and it was always a rubbish poster, just yellow with like black print on it or something like that, and you're going in and saying, "What you're watching?" We're watching Flash, but I just want to see what a mucky clown is about or something. or oh no, camping or something. X films, flipping heck. I mean, it made me not want to go in Screen 3, thinking like, how many people are going watching them, and then I'm going in afterwards to go and watch Batteries Not Included, and what am I surrounded by?
Thank God there was no black light. You know what I mean?
Oh Christ, yeah. It really was the darkest of the 3 screens, because I watched the Relic in there, and I really struggled to see what was going on. And I watched The Doors, but The Doors was out of focus. I couldn't be bothered. Going asking. I'd had a drink, I think.
Well, that was the other thing as well. On the opposite side of the road was the Halfway House pub. You know what I mean?
And my Scout Up.
Literally, because
my Scout Up was there as well. First oral. Yes. Dib.
I was a 21st Wigan, me.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I did loads. Well, I first oral. No, it's 27th Wigan. I was in 27th Wigan, then first oral later on. But the urge, my dad would go, in you go, are you going in? And I'm going, I don't want to go and do knots like Roger Rabbit's on. Oh, man. Hey, look at that. 31 minutes. We're almost there with that. Should we be controlled?
Almost there. We can be controlled, We can be as controlled as you want. Yeah.
Well, what we should say then is, if we're controlling things and bringing it to a nice close there so people don't get bored, 27th of this month, we're doing our Wigan Cult Film Club night once again.
Yes.
And so far, this one is we should come up with a name for these ones where the members choose, like a audience pick or something like that, or club pick or something, where we put it to the vote on Facebook, and then we get to people decide what the film is. And I know you're gutted this time, because you're like, I hope they don't pick those 2 bloody films, and one of them they've picked already, and it's one of them.
They've picked one of them, so we know what the first film's going to be. The first film's going to be Bloodsport. Now, that's fine. So at least we weren't going to get Bloodsport and Kickboxer together, because I'm not saying the 2 bad films. I'm just saying the 2 close in style. One's like watching the other, and I wanted them to be completely different from each other.
Yeah.
And also, we have some ladies present that they're overly keen on the martial arts action. So I wanted something else a little bit in there, other than just 12 men kicking each other's heads in.
So the theme of the night is it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Tony is very cleverly, like Professor Fox of Cunning University, has decided to put both Bloodsport and Kickboxer in the first deciding round, so that
in the same bracket
can be chosen. Because everyone's going to go straight for. What's that one with Tong Po? Can we put that one in? No, you can't.
No. And up to now, there's only you realised I've actually done that, because no one's actually mentioned it at all.
Well, wait till they realise that. We'll ask them to vote on the second one, and we'll just not even listen and just put what we want on. So as everyone, it's Time Cop.
We know Street Fighter got 22 votes, but nah.
There's only so much of them we can take.
But no, I purposely try to keep all the straight martial arts films in one set. Then I try to put everything else, the action, the sci-fi stuff, in another bracket, just so it mixed it up, so the night just didn't feel the same straight through.
Well, I know he's done more sort of like he's in all Expendables and stuff like that, and more recent. We were looking at the stuff that not just his heyday stuff, because his Bloodsport and his Kickboxer took off on video over here. And like everyone in school was saying, have you not seen Kickboxer? And then that's how we found him. But then Hollywood found him as well, and then off he went doing his Time Cops and his Hard Target. So we were hitting those 2 eras of peak Van Damme, really. I mean, I know he's good in his later stuff, but there's nothing like doing the splits for any reason whatsoever in every film.
For no reason at all. But otherwise, I'm just doing it.
And I love how like he's like in the middle of like, you know, life-altering action. He could get killed here, but he's done the splits to get away from the electrified floor, and then he'll turn to the camera and go. He's like the uncle you don't want to be near. Oh.
I mean, as well, if you look at, I mean, originally what I wanted to do, and I sent you the picture of what I wanted to do, and what I wanted to do was set it up like a kumite. So, so 2 films went against each other, and then the winner of that came down in another bracket, and then they went against each other, and then the winner of that went into another bracket. So finally, you had one film against another film. And I thought that's going to be fucking brilliant. That's going to look great on the social media page. That's going to get everybody involved. And when I worked it out, it would have taken 13 days to choose the films. I thought, that's never going to work. I should have started it in February. You know what I mean? It's like
bloody maths, pig in maths.
Yeah. So I went old school in down the Street Fighter vibe. Round 1 fight, round 2 fight, and then 2 comes out on top, and then just split them up into like sub-genre really. And that's how we're going to end up with it.
So far we've got Bloodsport, and we've got another one to vote on over the next few days. By the time we get back from Sheffield, bothering Arrow Video and everybody else, I'll be able to finish the poster and we'll whiz it up.
We can bang it onto the old social medias.
Yeah, but that night the Wigan Cult Film Club will be coming together on Thursday the 27th at 6:30 in Anderton's Bar in Wigan.
That's the one.
Right in the town centre. So if you're bored and you're watching Biz, come and watch some top Biz, but with people in a bar where you can buy Vinto and very oily crisps.
Oily beefy crisps.
Oily beefy crisps that I think if you were trapped in ice, like in a nuclear winter, and there was 2 bags of them, you would live for a month off the oils in those crisps.
You could also as well do what the swimmers of the English Channel do. You could rub that grease all over yourself and swim from Dover to France. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, even though they look like a more recent brand, if BA had got his hands on them, he would have fixed the car with them. The beef oil.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So like that, Dave just said, the 27th, starting at 6:30. 6:30 is the meet and greet. First film starts at 7 o'clock. That runs till about 8:30. And from 8:30 till 9, we have a bit of an interlude, a bit of an interval where we do a raffle and everybody has a bit of a chin wag and goes for a wee and other things. And then 9 o'clock, we stick the second film on. And normally about halfway through that film, I've had about 5 pints, so it starts getting a bit lively. And then we pack up once that film's finished, and normal people go home, and some hardcore people go out drinking after it.
That they do.
So it's happy times. It's good. It's all free. None of this costs anybody whatsoever. So if you're bored, if you're sick of watching the fucking Euros, because the Euros are on at the same time as this, so if England have already been knocked out by then and you've got nothing else better to do, then come and watch Jean-Claude Van Damme kick some heads in.
Are the Euros going to be on while we're watching Bloodsport in a sports bar?
Yes.
No way, Michael's not going to like that.
No, well, Michael can fuck right off. He'll have to find somewhere else to go and play pool and eat garlic bread.
Oh,
so
God,
it's
and drop his pint glasses. Right. Okay. It's looking like.
So thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. If you've not subscribed up to now, please consider giving us a subscribe. If you like these videos, then give us the old thumbs up. And if you want a notification next time me and Dave go with a video on, or if we go live, click the little notification bell. And until the next time, people, keep it cult.
I mimed that as you were saying it. Right. See you later.
Bye.